Life processes. This is part 2. Nutrition. What is nutrition? The process of taking in of food is called nutrition. How do living things get their food? Autotrophs get their food from inorganic sources like carbon dioxide, water, and minerals. Autotrophs means those plants who can prepare their own food, for example, green plants and some bacteria. Whereas heterotrophs get their food from complex substances like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So, since their food is complex, they need to use enzymes, which are biocatalysts, to break these complex substances to simple ones. Examples of heterotrophs are animals and members belonging to kingdom fungi. So, these are the examples of autotrophs: green plants, autotrophic bacteria, heterotrophs. These are the examples for heterotrophs. Apart from the animals, we can also find here fungi. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which plants prepare their food with the help of carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, chlorophyll, and minerals. So, this is the equation for photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide, water, in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight will give you carbohydrates. The simplest form of carbohydrate is glucose, oxygen, and water. So, this is a balanced equation for photosynthesis, which you have to study. How are carbohydrates stored? In plants, the sugars or the carbohydrates are stored as starch, whereas in case of animals, the sugars are stored in the liver as a product called glycogen. So this is a figure showing starch in plants, and you can also see the glucose has been stored in the form of glycogen in liver if it's in case of animals. Events during photosynthesis. There are three events that take place during photosynthesis. The first event is absorption of light energy by chloroplast. Second, conversion of light energy into chemical energy like ATP and NADPH. At the same time, water splits to form hydrogen and oxygen. And the last event is reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates. Reduction means whatever water is been split to hydrogen, those hydrogen will be used to add up with the carbon dioxide. So whenever hydrogen is added to a molecule, it will be called as being reduced. So reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates. So these are the three events during photosynthesis. So these are the three events during photosynthesis: absorption of light, conversion to chemicals, at the same time splitting of water to hydrogen and oxygen, and finally reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. So the same thing we can pictorially represent in this manner. First is absorption of sunlight. So the leaves over here will absorb the sunlight, and second event is conversion of light energy to chemical energy. So whatever the chloroplast will absorb the light, the chlorophyll present in the chloroplast will absorb the light. That light energy will be converted as chemical energy in the form of ATP and NADPH, and it will be stored within the leaves. Same time there will be splitting of water to form hydrogen and oxygen. Then there will be reduction of carbon dioxide to form carbohydrates. So this hydrogen which is produced will be added up with the carbon dioxide, and these chemical energy will also be utilized to convert carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Now we will see if a leaf is been cut with the help of a blade and then kept it under the microscope, how will the cells look like? So this figure is called as cross section of a leaf. The first, you can see the first layer is called cuticle. Cuticle of a leaf is a waxy coating present on the leaf. Then we will see the upper epidermis. In the middle, you can see the vascular bundles. Vascular bundles means xylem as well as phloem, which helps in transporting food and water and minerals. Then we can see some cells over here. These are called mesophyll cells. The mesophyll cells are having some spots. These spots are chloroplast. And chloroplast is a cell organelle which contains chlorophyll pigment. The lower epidermis, now this is the lower epidermis. Lower epidermis has got stomata. In some leaves, stomata is found in both upper as well as lower epidermis. The chlorophyll is present in chloroplast. It is these chlorophyll molecules which is present in the chloroplast that helps in photosynthesis. So this is the textbook figure of the same. We can see the leaf here, then we can see the cross section of the leaf here. Now there is an activity to show that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Take a potted plant with variegated leaves like money plant or croton. Keep the plant in a dark room for 3 days. Why we have to keep in dark room? It is to de-starch. De-starch means to remove all the starch already present in the leaves. Then keep the plant in sunlight for 6 hours. Pluck a leaf from the plant. Mark the green areas and trace them on a sheet of paper. Dip the leaf in boiling water to make the leaf soft. Then we have to immerse the leaf in a beaker containing alcohol. We have to boil the leaf in alcohol but not directly because alcohol catches fire. So we have to place the beaker containing alcohol into a water bath, and with the help of the heat of the water bath, the alcohol will start to boil and the leaves, chlorophyll molecules will dissolve in the alcohol and the leaf will become decolorized, means leaf will become pale. Now we can test the leaf for starch. For that we have to wash off the alcohol from the leaf and then dip the leaf in iodine solution. So whichever areas there are starch produced, there it will be shown as blue color. So the first step is de-starch the variegated leaf plant for 3 days and then expose the plant to sunlight for 6 hours. Then do the starch test. First you have to boil the leaf in water, then boil the leaf in alcohol in this manner. First you have to boil the water, into that you have to immerse the beaker containing alcohol and the leaf. So with the help of the heat of the water, the leaf will start to get boiled in the alcohol. After that, take out this leaf, wash it with water and then put it into iodine solution. So what we have seen like this, that is there are some areas are blue in color. The areas which shows blue color shows that starch is present there. And when we compare with the design of the leaf, we can understand that wherever the chlorophyll is present, only those areas starch is present and is shown as blue. The areas of the leaf where chlorophyll is not present, there is no starch being fixed, and so they will appear pale in color. So this is a picture of a variegated leaf. This is a picture of a croton. Like that money plants, some money plants are also variegated. Variegated means chlorophyll is not uniformly present. They will be present in patches. So the textbook picture of variegated leaf. The first picture shows the variegated leaf before testing, and this picture shows variegated leaf after the starch test. You can see that wherever the chlorophyll is present, only there the starch is present. This shows that chlorophyll is important for photosynthesis. The next activity is to show that carbon dioxide is important for photosynthesis. For that, we have to take two healthy potted plants, Keep them in a dark room for 3 days. Then place each plant on a separate glass plate. In one glass plate, you have to keep a watch glass containing potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide absorbs carbon dioxide. Then cover both the plants with bell jar. After that, keep it under the sunlight for 2 hours. You can use Vaseline to seal the glass bell jar onto the glass plate down so that it will remain airtight. After 2 hours, pluck the leaf from both the bell jars and then you have to do test for starch to find out which of the leaves will have starch prepared. After the experiment, it was seen that the leaves taken from the first bell jar did not prepare any starch, whereas the leaves which is taken from the second bell jar had starch present. This shows that carbon dioxide is very important for photosynthesis. Since the first bell jar was using potassium hydroxide and it absorbed all the carbon dioxide inside this, photosynthesis did not take place. Whereas in the second bell jar, there was no potassium hydroxide, so here photosynthesis took place. So this shows that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. Now this is a figure which you have to study. It's a very important question. The first shows the figure of an open stomata. You know that stomata are openings found on the leaves through which gases can pass in and out. Gaseous exchange take place. But since the stomata can also lead to loss of lot of water vapor, stomata sometimes remains closed. The closing and opening of stomata is due to these C-shaped, bean-shaped cells. They are called as guard cells. If water gets inside the guard cells, then the stomata will open. When water leaves the guard cell system, the stomata will close. So this is a picture of an open stomata. Here you can see a second picture shows the closed stomata. Here you can see stomata are closed. So this is open stomata. You can see the two guard cells. The structure of stomata, you can see the green color spots here. They are the chloroplast. Each guard cell will have one nucleus. So this is a stomatal pore. Guard cells will swell when it takes water, causing the pore to open. This is a picture of a closed stomata. In closed stomata, you can find that the pore is closed. Why the pore became closed? When the guard cells will shrink, these are guard cells. When guard cells shrink because of loss of water, then the pore over here will close.